Yes,
So good morning. I'll start with a quick introduction. My name is Amir Abdelghani. I'm assuming the responsibilities of CFO and managing a team of qualified accountants at BISB. I'm leading and supervising the functions of financial accounting and reporting, financial analysis and data analytics, regulatory reporting, planning and budgeting, tax and controls, as well as reconciliation department. Before I delve into the details, responsibility of financial controller or FCD as a whole, I'll have a quick look at the change in the FCD's role and responsibilities. Can you hear me, guys? I think or the network is bad.
A bit شوي يقطع بس fine. We can see you, we can hear you.
Okay. Now, FCD traditionally had three main tasks and responsibilities: bookkeeping and recording of the financial transaction, financial reporting, and statutory compliance. But the modern
Amir, will you share any slide, because nothing is shared?
I don't have any slide. No, I'll just take them quickly.
Fine.
So now the modern role and responsibility of the financial department is totally different today. Today, FCD, through the CFO, drive the direction and the success of the organization they work in, using their knowledge and understanding of the financial position of the organization. Now, the main role of FCD is to achieve the effective utilization of the bank financial resources and maximizing the bank return on investment, in addition to leading any capital rise or strategy development. I'll give you an example here. Me as a CFO of BISB, I'm chairing the Assets and Liability Committee, which is Assets and Liability Committee, which is called ALCO, through which we direct the investment of the bank. Now, I'll move to the main responsibilities of the FCD within BISB. To do so, I'll divide them by divisions. I'll start with financial accounting and reporting functions. Now, they are responsible for, of course, it's headed by qualified ladies called Reem. She's responsible mainly for developing and maintaining the financial reports, which include, but not limited to, financial statements, liquidity, profitability, performance, mismatch, currency exposures, open position, and many other reports. This responsibility for preparing, of course, she's also responsible for preparing the bank's consolidated financial statement and presenting the executive summary to BOD, which is Board of Directors, and the various committee, including the Audit Committee. She's also responsible for preparing the quarterly and annually financial statement and fulfill the external auditor requirement during their normal quarter and annual audit. Regulatory reporting functions, which include reviewing all and preparing all CBBs and Bahrain board's reports. I'll give you an example here. 10 years ago, there was only Basel 1. Today we have Basel itself. We have Basel 3, Pillar 1, Pillar 2, and Pillar 3. So we have to prepare, in addition to the financial statement, what we call it the public disclosures. We have LCR today, NSFR, capital adequacy, leverage ratio. All this need to be prepared, reviewed by the external auditor. Some of them should be audited actually, especially when it comes to the public disclosure, year-end public disclosure, in which there is quantitative and qualitative part. Now, again, dealing with and solving not only this, now in daily basis, she need to deal and solve issues raised as a normal and abnormal course of business, fulfill the external auditor requirement during the annual audit. So the external auditor, they need to sit with the business unit to discuss the deals, to see that if there is a need for any provision. Assuming the responsibility of updating the project committee with the status of pending project, taking care of the UAT, which is the user acceptances, linking the GS, creating new GS. All this will be responsibility of financial reporting. And now I'll jump to the second one, which is the managerial accounting and MIS. Our CEO, you don't like to call it anymore MIS. Now it is data analytics. Why data analytics? Simply the main responsibility of this department is to identify and communicate the data-driven insight that allow the top management board to make informative decisions. They are also responsible to develop profitability report, peer analysis report, the required assets and liability management report, including the maturity report, interest rate sensitivity report, key parameters, fixed deposit analysis, and the market share report. They prepare and review the internal fund transferring model and other related reports, not only for BISB, but they need to make sure that it's in line with the group as a whole. Prepare and reviewing of the cost allocation mechanism, including the drivers, deciding which driver we have to use to allocate the indirect cost and preparing the business performance. So financial planning and budgeting function, including preparing the bank annual budget, preparing and reviewing the monthly variance report to the board and the executive committees, in addition to the MANCO or the management committees. Undertake the financial projection and forecast, maintaining accounting policy and procedure, and providing strategic support to the management and other units. This is the main objective of the managerial accounting. Finally, creating the framework for the peer analysis. Sometimes we have to compare ourselves to our peer, whether it is Islamic or conventional bank, to better understand the information, which should be information-based evaluations of the bank performance compared to our peer. Moving to the payment section, again, it's headed by qualified girl called Aisha. The main responsibility here is cost control function, including reviewing and approving all types of the expense and their allocation to the proper budget line item and cost center. So she maintained the fixed asset register and depreciation, which she needed to make sure that the depreciation method and the life she's using for the depreciation is in line with the group policy. Maintaining and updating the policies and procedures for the department, develop a payment strategy to assist the bank in the area of potential saving when it comes to the operational expense part. Tax and VAT department. The primary responsibility of the tax section here is to prepare the return in compliance with the regulatory or tax authority, accurately preparing and filing of the authority in the timely manner. This is a responsibility of the VAT manager. Developing tax strategy to assist the bank in the area of, again, potential saving, if any. Identifying tax problem and developing solutions. Completing the response when it comes to preparing for tax income audit. Last department is the internal control. Internal control include they are mainly responsible to make sure that the policies, procedures of the bank is updated, to establish a policy and control that to make sure to reduce the risk and ensure they are met the operating, reporting and compliance objective of the bank. This is the main responsibilities of the financial control within BISB. Now I leave the floor for any question.